Hi, today is March the 13th, 2016. My name is Alex Barrera. This is the video number 18. And since my last video, some important things happened. And for the first time, I think that The Voice is interested in me publishing this video according to some admissions from his part. As usual, I will divide this in 4 parts. Events and people I forgot to mention before, confessions and admissions by The Voice, events that took place over the last days, and my theories, conclusions. In regards to events and people I forgot to mention before, in regards to the last episode with the cops last Friday, the 4th of March, I forgot to mention that The Voice told me there is a general power switch somewhere that allows them to shut down the power in the house. That is something that happened the first day that living here with me talking to Ralph about it, and late last year, when it caused a serious altercation with Honey on one night last October, I think. Actually, the power panel outside is tightly locked, and it makes it very hard for anyone to turn off the electricity of the house, so it makes sense. I forgot to mention also that after I left the job with Jeff McNamara, I had several casual encounters with his wife, back then, I don't know, Faye, in different public places, being the latest at the Safeway car park in Hampton in 2009, a few weeks before my eviction. I remember that she was acting very weird for me to notice her. That would confirm that what the Voice said about them working for the team or getting paid by them. I will elaborate this on my conclusions theory section. In regards to confessions and admissions made by The Voice or Voices, there is another one, like I said before. On March the 7th, the other Voice was talking about people from our past in Buenos Aires. It was talking about a guy called Kiki Iglesias, a guy I worked with at Lois Bank in Buenos Aires during my last years there, between 1999 to 1991. The thing is, I saw this guy years later at the same primary school our daughter used to attend to, and he seemed not very comfortable when we came across at the school to pick up our kids. Apparently, he knew about our situation, and most importantly, it is telling me that the bankruptcy of the school, which happened shortly after we arrived in Australia, is somehow connected to us. I can't imagine how could be possible. On the 8th of March, the other Voice is saying that Ralph is the boss of the gang around me and not the Voice as he likes to claim. On the 9th of March, the Voice threatened me the previous night with more police intervention. I suppose that he was drunk or on drugs or both. He admitted that later that day. When I said I didn't authorize Honey to park his car behind mine, the Voice replied he did. The Voice is taking responsibility for what happened on the 21st of February 2013 with an angry dog biting my leg at Oakley South. This is strange because back then there was the previous Voice, identified as herself as Carly, making the decisions. On the 10th of March, the Voice is saying that every job in Australia was organized by them by paying them for having me there. So Jeff McNamara differentials, Jeff McNamara 2004 and 5, Marketing Director Australia, Joe Pesci, Albert De Paris 2005 and 6, Spring Gas, Giuseppe Boemo 2006, Alternative Fire Services, Tony Bates, Stuart Arnold Levy 2006 and 7, Rambler Furniture, Rambler Family, Paul and Jerry 2007, Financial Synergy, David Orford and Delis Dalton 2007, Supported Housing, Property Limited, now Housing Choices Australia, Michael Lennon, Hallie O'Mahony in 2008, Handy High Trailers, Daryl Foster, David Rutledge in 2008, SIPS Australia for Jonathan Dutton, Simon Sperring, the CEO back then, and David Noble, the CEO now, 2008, 2009. Advantage, Stephen Crothers, CEO, Mike Rester, back then CFO, now CEO of Regal Grange in 2010. Winter White, now working as a cleaner, John Falson and Manny Darmarin, 2011-2012. And the last one, Morrow's Freight Lines, David Morrow and Edwin O'Brien, 2014. Just a few days. That was a very weird experience. The question is, why the voice is all of a sudden admitting all of this? I don't know. The voice is asking me to talk about Dave's mother, who came by the house at 26 Jackson's Road a few times. That will confirm he's the voice, by the way. I never talked to her, but she seemed to know about my situation and what was going on there. Later he said she actually was his stepmother. I think it's more bullshit, but it's okay. The voice is asking me to talk about again a clairvoyant I met back on March 3rd, 2010 at her home in Gembrook, with a strange event that took place shortly after I left her house and driving back home. There were some lights in a very dark road that I already mentioned before. Her name was Julie Ann Steve. I don't know why he is insisting on me talking about this again. The voice is telling me that the ambulance that came to my aid on the 21st of March of 2013, the day of the Mad Dog, was fake. On the 11th of March, the voice is saying Simon Reeves sells drugs on the skating club in Carden Downs. That is very shocking for me to know that, but he's saying that. Why? I don't know. Well, I'm going to elaborate this on my conclusions at the end. On the 12th of March, the other voice says that Honey and the Paki, the other guy, have both an active role in threatening Betty and Vicky, and also telling them what to say and do. But they behave very strange, this guy and the other one. So that's the reason that I use derogative language, because they are all the time trying to make my life more miserable. The voice is confirming that the AMBOs, the ambulance drivers, not only transport ill patients, but other substances. Similar case to bus drivers. Perhaps fake ambulances? I don't know. In regards to events that took place over the last days, on the 7th of March, after some weeks of abstinence, finally the pack started coughing as I expected. At night, Honey having dinner at midnight, at 2:30 a.m., more noisy chat with the other guy, to leave the house at 6:30 a.m. He never sleeps. He started parking his car behind me without authorization and put his lights full on my room that day. I think it's called sleep deprivation. Talked to the Paki about the accumulation of his rubbish in the kitchen. He's doing it on purpose, of course. For the second time, I told him that I didn't want to talk about that with Ralph again. He didn't seem very impressed, perhaps because the real owner is the voice and not Ralph, as I've been told before. On March the 8th, after several days of being missing, my favorite teacup from IKEA reappeared in the kitchen. Ralph was right about when he told me over the phone I shouldn't use the word stolen. Perhaps he knew more about it since the beginning. More stupid mind games. I emailed him about the issues with this Paki, and he promised to talk to him. I published on that day, on the 8th, video number 3 in Spanish, and I was wondering if my tweets are being censored somehow, or my videos are being firewalled. I don't know. On the 9th of March, last night, very strange dream with Nicholas, also called as Cherry, and a guy I worked with at Lloyd's Bank back in 1989 to 1981. Very strange indeed, since I don't see this connection between them, any kind of connection. More unknown visitors knocking at the front door today. This time Honey went to talk to them, this time were not cops, just people known to him, obviously. On the 10th of March, somebody from the team, using Vicky's WhatsApp, sent me a happy birthday wish and said she would call me on Saturday. On the 11th of March, last night, the previous night, more noises from the rats at home about 1:30 at 2 a.m. in the morning. I called Max Employment in the morning to reschedule that appointment, the appointment at 10:30. Dean picked up the phone, told him that the rats at home were probably on drugs the night before, and there was some sort of altercation, so I was expecting the cops to come over at the house, as they did last Friday the 4th. He didn't ask for more details. It seems he knows everything. I rescheduled a new appointment for next Friday, the 18th of March, at 10:30 with Masuda this time, he said. He mentioned when I described the events here, he mentioned that I don't know why he brought up this a comment saying that the ambulance drivers being abused by the junkies. I didn't understand the connection. What we're talking about, except for the incident with the mad dog on the 21st of February 2013. Or was he implying that they do the same as some bus drivers, not all of them, some bus drivers, I believe. I received a WhatsApp message from the team saying Vicky will call me tomorrow on Saturday, between 4:30 to 5 p.m. I noticed that Hani is parking his car back on the street that day. Let's see if it's a permanent change or not. On the 11th of March, I went to Coles, Dandenong. Several stupid motorists while riding my bike, some nervous coughing at the store. I called the good money to renew the Niels loan, the one that I had previously at Spring Valley Center. I finished paying off last Thursday in order to fix my car and pay the registration. The girl over the phone promised me to email me the paperwork, but it didn't happen. Previously, Hal, the guy who I was dealing with back in the Springvale Center, left a message in my voicemail, but since I moved from my previous address in Jackson's Road, I am no longer eligible, I believe, to apply again with them, because it's according to the postcode. Some postcodes are eligible to apply to Springvale. 3174 is one of them. Now I am living on 3175, so the other lady told me that I should talk to the guys in Dandenong, which I did. On the 12th of March, the previous night, the rats in the house had a very active night, with the packing coming and going until 4 a.m. Vicky called me after several months. It was really surprising. She said that she was very busy with work and her studies at the uni. I am pretty sure the team let her talk to me with the purpose of feeding me with their rubbish, which makes me think that they are quite desperate at the moment. She talked about the internship for a non-for-profit in Geelong. It seems that they persist with these crooks at Simpsons, and they don't have anything else to say. And by the way, the voice told me that while I was talking to her that day with this organization that she is doing the internship, CEO2SIS or something like that in Geelong, they work for them. So on my birthday, when I asked her about why she never uses her number instead of the WhatsApp, she replied that she was used to that. And when I thanked her about the salutation for my birthday, she seemed a bit lost over the phone. So I suppose that would confirm that she is not using the WhatsApp. And they manipulate her in order to contact me when they have something to tell me. Later that day, yesterday, I went to Aldi and Waverley Gardens by bus, and they saw some ridiculous sneezing at the bus stop, the usual parade of idiots walking casually around me and giving me some indications. It was about 5:30, 6 p.m. So nobody was around, you know what I mean? And nobody in the bus stop as well. All of a sudden, some guy started to show up, and no car was parked on the car park, and all of a sudden, one of these vans parked with his headlights on right in front of me, and there was an old creepy guy warming up, doing stretching, all these sort of things right next to the bus stop. He stepped into the bus before me, not letting me see the face of the bus driver. Perhaps a friend of his. I don't know. In regards to my theories, conclusions, after some important admissions made by divorce lately, I am pretty sure how things were planned after our forced departure from Argentina. I think the kind of crimes that have been involved back there after we left were continued with different companies, taking their share for having me working for them, as I explained before. Most of the in most of the cases, short-term contracts, as I described before. Something that was confirmed by the voice on the 9th of March. That would explain the behavior of some people throughout the years, desperate to support the team responsible for the miserable life I had to endure since May 2009 until to this date. I believe the reason for those short-term contracts, including some episodes with female employees in some cases, were aimed to portray me like an unstable man with addiction problems, harasser, thief, and unqualified to work as an accountant in Australia, as it was written in October 2011 in an email by Jonathan Dutton back then. This was perfected with the manufactured divorce from my wife, which was obtained by threats to her, my daughter, and the rest of family and friends. Once isolated from everyone, there was the period of the Centrelink, job agencies, the police, etc., which kept me submerged in this miserable life ever since, with a few and very short-term jobs mentioned before. After connecting some events and information received lately, I reached the conclusion that Ricky, female employer, Bree, receptionist, and Craig Langley, manager at Recreation Health Club Kisborough, gym, worked for the team too. I was attending to that gym since 24th of December 2009 until the 9th of May 2011. I also believe that the voice is insisting on mentioning some people from the past, and the latest astonishing confession regarding Simon Reeves is because these people are claiming no involvement at all with events from the past. The other thing is important that I notice is that although the voice mentioned some people from the past repeatedly, he never mentioned Pauline Taylor or Pauline Johnson or Thompson or something like that. No. This only confirms this is not the original voice, who I think worked with her, Pauline, back then in 2007. Perhaps they both worked for the CIA, I don't know. But the thing is, there are a lot of tension, there are a lot of, I would say, admissions and taking back comments again from the voice. The voice is not quite sure about perhaps what he's doing, but he is making these comments, and somehow he's retracting himself from those comments. Perhaps he realized that they're very serious, I don't know, but these are how things are going on now. So for now, thanks, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, bye.